Pleasure to see y'all here today. All right. We're going to get started here in just a moment. Today is Monday, April 10th, 2023. Just making sure that we're actually streaming live. All right, let's go ahead and get the charts up. All right, so we're getting a little bit of a trend reversal. You can see I'm currently down 150 at the moment. It's because it wouldn't let me out over here on this trade. We'll come back from that very, very quickly, I think. I'm gonna get an entry off of around 4,007. I think I'll put my entry just up here like 750, so I can try to get fill. Okay, we're in at 07. I'm gonna cancel on that, and then I'm gonna put this on a single and try to get out of 8 on 4,008. It's kind of acting a little wonky, so. Trying to basically go for like 3 ticks today. What's up, Kevin? Good to see you. Market's almost working in wave patterns today. I was trading stocks earlier. I was trading, I don't know if y'all saw GCTK. Sold this like just a little too early. This thing ripped all the way up. I was in at like $2 here. Like right around this area. My entry was like 208. And I sold it up here at 225, and then like a minute later it ripped up to $3. I was like, oh, come on. But I was selling it because there was a little bit of like hesitation up here at this zone on the upper band of the VWAP, and the thing just ripped up like a whole buck. I'm like, man, wow, I made $1 a share. But still, this particular stock has been trading really well today. You can see though that it's kind of about to fall down. I think it's kind of about to form a head and shoulders and begin to pull back. I don't know if anyone is out there trading stocks, but that's what I was trading earlier this morning. So S&P 500, you can see we're trading below the 200 moving average and below the VWAP as well. We're kind of making wave patterns today. We're stacking up towards a potentially towards an upward move. As far as the moving average goes, the 912's in the right position, 35's above the 50, and we're working on a possible crossover of both the 5200 and the 1226. So I think that this is going to have opportunity to move up towards the volume weighted average price, which is up there at around 4110, 4111 area. I'm going to take another entry here, but I just noticed that it's at 1 contract. I want 3 contracts. What up, Tiny? Good to see you. I hope somebody caught that GCTK rip today. Looks like we just got our entry. And there's our exit. All right, well, now we're up 150 on the day. Trading looks kind of easy today, which is really nice. I might actually pick up a additional evaluation today. Tough morning. Rejection off of 4110. Getting a cyan switch now. 9's above 12. There's that 1226 crossover roughly about to happen. It hasn't happened yet. Remember that this can be a rejection zone. But we have about 1 minute left, and then we'll see whether or not that thing rejects or moves upward. I think that the 200 moving average may act as pretty strong resistance, so we're gonna have to be careful here in this area. I'm gonna try to get an entry off of like 850 and go for 5 ticks. Nope, it's just gonna rip up. So I guess I'll try for 950. What do you guys think? Should I pick up another evaluation? We can have one a little bit earlier in the month. By the way, guys, Elite Trader Funding is doing a 50% off Easter sale right now. It's running till April 14th, and right now it's 50% off everything except for the fast tracks and resets. But there is a link in the description. Promo code JSBest will also work. You can also use the hop to it. But they are also giving away 44 accounts. They do these totally random sometimes, and then it's like a random prize drawing that they do in the Discord community. But they're giving away some funded accounts here. Actually, I'm not sure if they're funded. They don't actually list that. Oh yeah, they are funded. You can win actual elite funded accounts. So they're giving away 44 accounts, 20 10Ks, 425s, 850s, 600s, and 650s. So they're giving away over $2 million worth of accounts. So you guys might want to check that out. There is a link in the description for those. So we never did get that fill, and I think that we may reject it here off the 200 moving average. I have a standing order at 950, and it pulled down to 975. So I think we're a little ways out from the full rip here. I think that we might run into resistance along the 200 moving average for a little while until this 50 gets a little bit closer. So we may have a rejection and then a consolidation and then another push, but I think that we are working our way towards a bullish breakout on the day. You can see this fill never took place, so I don't think it ever tapped our buy order area of 950. I'm gonna cut right there, and then I'm gonna try and get in right here. So I'm in pretty high on this. I'm gonna try to get out at 1150. I want to try to get out below the 200 moving average. So we did get that trade. We're up 262.50 on the day before fees. Remember, the fees have moved to $5.58. They're no longer $4.36. Let's see. A pullback to 950 looks reasonable to me. I'm gonna try and get an entry off of 950. There we are. Entered at 950. We may get a little spike down, but I think that we'll be okay there. 2.7 to 3.0 to 3.2 on the TTM. There's a pullback down to flat. We're trying to get out right here directly below the VWAP at 1075. And VWAP is right around 11. So this is that drop down that I mentioned. So I want to see it kind of consolidate right here in this zone and then pop back up. I think that this may take like 5 minutes. I definitely could have got a little better entry on this. I went with 950 because that's where the 9 moving average was. So to me, it kind of made sense in terms of the overall move. On the 3-minute chart, you can see we're stacking cyan, and 9's above the 35. 12 is approaching a cross of the 35. We're a little ways away from the 50 moving average. And so these moving averages on the 3-minute need to get above that 50. I think that would be very beneficial. And let's take a look at the 5-minute chart. So 5-minute is also trending cyan. So this is looking even better on the 5-minute side. Watch out for resistance up here, like 1350. In fact, I might actually move my sell order up to like 13, maybe to 1250. Maybe I don't actually want to do that. Because we might get another rejection before we get a breakout. So I think I might, I know I'm just bouncing around here. I might move it back down to like 1050 and then look to get out here and then wait a little bit for these crossovers. There's that 1050 trade. Up for 1250 on the day on the sim side as well. 1 second, y'all. I think I'm actually going to pick up another evaluation as well. So give me a second. Bear with me, y'all. Appreciate y'all chilling. We're just setting up a new evaluation right now, so it's only be a minute. All right, Joe. We're back. Okay. So here we are. So I'm glad I got out of that trade, but it did rip up to the 1250 zone that I mentioned. It actually went all the way up to 1350, which was the exact dollar amount that I mentioned that this would rip up to. That's pretty crazy. Man, that's nuts. So here we are. We're trading right below the 200 moving average. I'm on the 1 minute chart. We're getting some consolidation here in this area. This is to be expected. So we did set up a I did just set up a 50K evaluation. 3 minute side is kind of popping up here. What happened in the movement? Currently below the VWAP. 3 minute 9 and 12 are approaching a crossover of the 50 moving average. This isn't exactly like a major, event or anything like that, but it does help confirm this bullish breakout, which is kind of stalling a little bit right below the volume weighted average price. So we may get some bounces here off the 50 exponential moving average. Currently running into resistance at the VWAP. I don't think that is going to hold there, though. I think that we're actually going to have room up to about 20 or 25 here over the next half hour. Pull back there to like 10.25. There's very low volume, it seems, on the day. Like, I don't really see a lot of price action. Maybe price action is a better description. But now the volume does seem pretty low. Yeah, I mean, we're at like 1,300 contracts, 1,900 contracts. So it is pretty low. There's an approach of the 50-200 cross. We're past the 745 mark. That was where this rip went. But if you notice, this big rip happened over 3 minutes and rejected all the way down off of 1 minute. That's why I was saying, really, like, I want to see this this happen, like this crossover, this 50 and this 200 moving average get a little bit closer together to really confirm this upward breakout. Pulling all the way back to the EMA 35. If we see some trade ups, we'll jump into our evaluation. So I did just notice that the 200 simple moving average is actually crossed below the volume weighted average price here. I'm gonna take a contracts here. If I can get in, I'll try and get in under 9 or at 9. See where it actually lets me in. I'm gonna put my standing order like 950, 975. Because I'm trying to get a fill. In at 950, looking to get out at 1050. So if I take a look at the 20-second chart here, which we don't have access to in Thinkorswim, but the 20-second chart you can see is actually on a pullback currently and getting a red yellow switch. I think I'll cut this trade. Made 75 on that one. Now we're up 487.50 in the sim. No trades in the eval yet. But I'm kind of happy I picked up an evaluation because, frankly, like I needed something that was available more at the beginning of the month instead of just in the center. You see the 20-second chart is trending downward at the moment. You pull back all the way down to 8, which is down to the bottom of the 50 moving average on the 1 minute side. We're approaching the top of the hour, so in less than 10 minutes, I think that we'll know whether or not we're going to get this breakout here. How have you guys been doing today so far in terms of your trading? I see a slam right of you up. Yeah, I saw that too. Did anybody catch the GCTK rip today? I took a trade on this. I was pretty happy with it. But I absolutely, like, I got in at like 2-something bucks and I sold right before this major rip. I was like, dude. And I don't know. I'm trying to get back into some stock trading. It's kind of challenging with my schedules because yeah, it's just a little challenging with my schedule since I'm over here on the Pacific Northwest side. So it can make it kind of challenging in terms of timing. Getting a bounce there off the 50 EMA, which is a bounce really up about like $8 or like 41.08. You can see that the 9 is below the 12, so I wouldn't take this long yet, especially because we're putting in some red candles on the TTM. There's a downward cross right there on the 9, 12, and 26. So I wouldn't take this quite yet. So I think this might reject down and then consolidate on the 50 and then bounce off of that and then make another push towards the volume weighted average price, which is up here at 41.11 almost. Come on. There we go. All right, so I might be looking for like a cyan switch here on the 20-second chart potentially. Maybe just the 9 above the 12 confirmation. TTM is currently at I guess at 0.44, 0.25. That's weird. All right, we have an entry long at 950. 3 contracts. We'll definitely cut it quick. Trying to be very responsive on my risk management. Looking to get out 1025. Nine is above the 12. There's a cyan switch. This is on the 20-second chart. So it could go against us pretty quickly. And it is going against us pretty quickly. I want to see a red to yellow on the 1 minute side. I might cut this. $8.50, I think, is going to be our line in the sand. So we're right at the risk level. $10.25 is right where the 200 moving average is on the 1 minute side. Dropping below our risk slightly, and we're back up at it. 12 and 26 is approaching a crossover on the 20-second chart. So I'm still holding this. I just realized I'm on the micro. I actually meant to trade this on the ES. So I guess it's probably better at the moment, but wow, that was a big rejection right there. Pulling all the way back down to 8. If we don't bounce here, I gotta, yeah, I'm out.
Order filled.
All right, so loss of $36.87 on that. I think it's probably a better thing that we were in the micro and not the mini, because that was a pretty hefty drop. We're not in a trade on the sim side. All right, so I'm going to wait for a red to yellow on the 1 minute chart. And then also, I'm probably going to wait for a 5200 cross here. The 20-second chart, I think, might get me in some trouble. I'm going to put this one here as well. And then make this green, and then we'll add this here. Make that green. And And then this. Don't want it to be on a 5 minute. We're going to switch to a 1 minute. Then make it look like that. All right. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for like a red yellow move here on the 1 minute side. You can see we're popping off of that 675. We actually pulled all the way back down to 650. We popped back up to 8 or so. There's a yellow 2.4 to 2.4. Right here at the top of the hour, so we may get a rip on this. An entry off at like 875 or something like that might look good. It's a pretty large rip right there. If we get a little pullback, I'll try and get an entry off of like 10. It's because we're below the 200 moving average. I'm very sketchy to actually take this. We're also below VWAP. I think it's gonna pop, but okay, 9's above 12. I think it's gonna pop, but we do have a lot of resistance zones to watch out for. So I definitely could have taken that rip off of 10. How long are we to 803? Oh, it's 803 right now. I'm gonna put a standing order at 1050. 3 contracts.
Order filled.
I'm looking to get out at 11 and a quarter. This one hit 1075. This one hit 11 and a quarter. And there is 10 seconds left in this candle. Hands over the cover button. We're in 3 contracts of the mini. I'm gonna cut right there.
Order filled.
So we made 1 tick. I definitely could have made more because it definitely ripped on through. Just kind of scared me. Just scared money don't make money. Pulling down to 1125. Getting a what looks to be a rip, like a pretty solid rip inbound. This is pulling back down to 4110. Big rejection there. Massive rejection. So I mean, I definitely could have held it and got my trade, but you know, I mean, this rejection is kind of shady, a little bit. Contract size looking like 4,000 on this, which is above what our average has been of about 1,600, 1,800 or so. We're pulling back, potentially getting a bounce off the 200 moving average. The 5,200 cross hasn't happened yet, and neither is the cyan switch, but I feel really pretty confident about this move. I'm going to join the bid here on the okay, so we're in 3 contracts on the sim. And 9's above the 12 now. I'm gonna look for an entry off of 1050 in the evaluation for another exit at 11 and a quarter. Didn't get it, so I'm gonna cut and we'll look for another one. There's definitely a little bit of resistance at 11. 9 and 12 are just now crossing above the 200 moving average. This looks better now for a longer term breakout. I'm gonna let's see, top here to 12 and a quarter. I'm gonna take a look at this on a longer time frame real fast and just see if we've got some other things that just kind of stand out. We did get this trade, so we're up 680, 750 on the sim. Okay, 5-minute chart does have something. 5-minute has the 50 EMA, which this rejected last time. So maybe a move up to 13 seems pretty reasonable. Try and get an entry off of like 12. Maybe even 11.75. Missed it. We're currently down $8 in the evaluation. Staying in a peak at the 20-second chart. This did pull back to like 11. All right, I'm gonna switch back over to the 1. We're approaching that 5200 cross. We've got a cyan switch already. And we're only down $8 in our sim at the moment, or our evaluation. I'm sorry. So there's that bounce off 11 that I mentioned. Considering an entry off of 11.50 or an exit at 12 and a quarter, I'll put the standing order there. There's the
Order
entry
filled.
Long at 11.50. Looking to get out of 12 and a quarter. TTM moving from 0.6 to 1.3. And the 50 moving average is at 13. We're up slightly in this trade. 12 and a quarter is my intended exit. Just want to see a little spike up towards 13 or 12.50 even. We can just get a little pop here. It's a little too much resistance at 12. We're literally one tick away. Come on. I guess we're 2, considering the buy is at 11.75. So much resistance at 12. I'm just going to put this at 12. I think it's gonna pop like up to 12.50.
Order filled.
All right, we got out at 12. Took 2 ticks. We're up $57 on the day in the evaluation. So we're positive in our eval. There's the pop. It fluttered around there for too long, and like I said, a pop up to 12.50 was what I was expecting. It literally tapped exactly 12.50. I got out a little early though because of this fluctuation here. You know, sometimes these can just rip down. We're very close to getting that crossover to the 50 and 200 moving average. And we traded that in the mini. So we're up 57 on the day, out of a $3,000 profit target. That did pop up to 13, which is the exact number that I said that this would have resistance at. And that was just based off the 5-minute chart with the 50 EMA moving average, the 50 exponential moving average right there. So, which is nice because it makes trading a little bit more basic. Like, we don't need to think too heavily on it, if you know what I mean. Looks like we have upward resistance of 20 and like 15, but this is actually from a different day, so. But I do see resistance there at 20 and like probably like 1750. Right now it's finding resistance off the 50 exponential on the 5 minutes, which is right at 13. Switching over to the 1 minute side, I wanted to take a look at that crossover that was inbound. So that crossover did happen. 2.3 to 2.7 to 3.1, moving at a factor of 0.4 to the upside. And 1 minute has movement available up to 31. It's pretty heavy for the upper band of the VWAP. Let's see. I might go for like a $3 move here. If we can get an entry maybe off of 13. That's on the so this by the way, you notice here's a little double top here. But we kind of already passed that. This is at 1350. We're up to 14 and a quarter now, so. Cocoa water. Tiny, how many names do you think you have for coffee? Just a curiosity. I've heard everything from bean water to go-go juice to go-go water, which you put in there today. Just I don't know. I just wonder how many names can we come up with for coffee. I love it. We never got that pullback to 13. We did go down to 14, but or 13 was the area I was trying to get in at. This was a very nice rip. So our entry there was at 1175, and this ripped all the way up to 1450. So I mean, this was actually our entry was 1150. That was a 12-tick move right there. Just continuing to rip. Got an entry in the sim. What the hell's going on? Holy moly. Got an entry in the sim at 13. A very nice entry. And it just ripped on past. And then now I'm in like a weird... Like it like eliminated my order or something. And I'm in 2 contracts too. Instead of 3. That was odd. Talk about lag, dude. I had gotten rid of that 2 contract thing like 2-3 minutes ago. Either way, it ripped up 837.50 in the sim. What, 2 losses, I think? So we took in the sim eval side. We took 1 loss and 2 wins. Those are our current results on the day. 1 loss, 2 wins. Luckily, the loss, even though it was kind of larger, in my opinion, was on the micro and not the mini. So that made a pretty nice difference. So our first loss was 38.75, 33.75 plus fees, and then we made basically everything back off one trade, 37.50 and 75 on our 2 trades that we've made past that. Kind of slowing down up here after all the hubbub. It's like slowly grinding up, and that makes trading really challenging. So that's why I haven't taken any trades through here, even though it looks like it's just going to keep on going. But we did get this nice trade on the sim side. But this has to kind of like level off and consolidate or something, because it just feels like it's just almost just lingering. It's slowly grinding. It's like it's just so slow. It's like too much to be able to not to be able to trade. We're up here at 8:15. Today feels slow. Does it feel slow to you guys today? It feels, yeah, like it feels slow. It definitely moves happening, but okay, good. This is where I'm glad this is pulling back, because like I said, I felt like it needed to consolidate. And I think it needs to consolidate like maybe above 12, like really just kind of above the resistance zone that was here. We have a line drawn at 11.75, so that'll suffice. But basically, I want it to consolidate, pull back, and bounce off this zone here, like off of like 11.75 or like 12. I think that would be really useful for traders, just to see that it's holding support at that level. And then from there, I think that we'll get some more solid breakouts. 3-minute side is a long way off from its next like really big move, if you will. But 3-minute side, I guess for this, we've been pulling back to, I don't want to pull all the way back to the view app. It's like just too far. Yeah, like it's still like in that $12 zone. So 3-minute side, I guess what I want to see next, I want to see this EMA 35 get above this EMA 50, which would be the 35, which is currently down at 4109.65, getting above 4110.25. So there's a difference of about 60 cents or so. And you can see the TTM on the 3 is kind of leveling off. So this pullback is normal and necessary. Taking a look at the 5-minute side to get a little broader perspective of where this is all going. Right now, the 9, 12, and VWAP are all in the same spot. We did just get a new 5-minute candle, which is great. And on the new one, the 9 crossed above the 35, and we're working our way up even further. So I think 13 might be a really good line in the sand, maybe 12.75 area. I'm going to join the bid here on the sim, trying to get in around 13. I'm going to bump that up to 13 because it was at 12.75. I'll put 13.50 on my as my top entry point. And hopefully, since it's joining the bid, it'll just fill lower. All right, so I'm in at 13.25, and I don't really want to try to get out there. I'm gonna try to get out at 14.50. So that would just be like What is that? 5 ticks? Yeah, 5 ticks. Math. There's a 1 minute candle to make a new high off that pullback there. That looks great. All right, so we did get that trade on this side. Made 5 ticks, over $1,000 in profit here today on the sim. Very big rip, bigger than I was anticipating. I did think that there was room up to 15, but which is right where it rejected. But at the same time, like, this was a pretty large rip. I mean, this went all the way down to 12 or 13, 1275 on the low end of this hammer, and then a rip up off that. So a pullback to like 9 EMA, which is like right at 14, and a bounce off that would look really nice. Or I just think that we're going to keep on bouncing here. I'm going to take a look at the 20-second chart, and I just want to see what's shaking over here. So this was a classic red to yellow move, and bouncing off the 50 EMA on the 20-second chart. 9's above the 12. We're getting a 1226 crossover there. We do have resistance up here at this 1550 zone. So, of course, I have a little bit of hesitancy. About to get a cyan switch on the 20-second chart. 9 is above 12, and that's getting a 1226 crossover. Switching back to the 1 minute, and then I'm also going to take a look at the, where are we at now? We'll have a new 3 minute candle in about 30 seconds. It's pulling back down to 1375. We have clear resistance at 15. So watch out for resistance along $15. Now this is pulling back pretty heavily. We're pulling all the way down to 1275. I think if we can maintain above 12, like I said, then I think that we'll have another opportunity for a larger breakout. We're approaching 8:30. This is 8:24. So I'm gonna take a look at the 3 minute chart. By the way, if y'all chilling, y'all hanging out, make sure you like, subscribe, and ring that bell for notifications. What's up, Shaveen? Holla, holla. Glad to see you here. Pulling back to 41.11.75. We're up $1,000 in the sim. 1,025. That's before fees. And the eval, we're also up just under $58. So there's that pullback to 12. I'm going to look to join the bid here and look for a bounce off of the 12 area. So our entry is at 1175, and I'm going to pop this back down to 13. So I'm going to look to get out at 13. I can see the 1 minute chart is actually pulling back pretty heavily though. So I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna put it right at 12, and then maybe we'll get out with a little bit of profit. If not, then we'll just hit market out. I'm doing this because on the 1 minute side, it looked like we're actually going for a a red move, so we did get out with a little micro profit on that. But it looks like we're about to transfer, like go downward, possibly back down to like $10, like 41.10. Right down here to the view app. So 9 is below 12 now. We're approaching a 12.26 crossover. We'll see if we find support here along 41.11, right where the EMA 50 is at. We do have a new 5-minute, so that I haven't checked in with. So I want to check in with that 5-minute chart. I check in with the 5-minute chart about every 5 minutes to just see whether or not we're bouncing, what's going on with the TTM, etc. I'm gonna try and get an entry in the sim off 1250. You can see the 50 moving average is right there at 13. Alright, definitely don't want to try to go for 3 ticks on this. I'm just gonna go for 12 ticks, not 3 ticks. But I'm gonna try to get out of 13. My entry's at 12.50. I'm going for, 12.25. So I'm going for 3 ticks on this. And we dojied on the last 3-minute, and we're currently doji on the current one. We did get that trade. We're up 11.75 in the sim. I'm gonna scale this out a little bit. Okay, so that was a pretty decent bounce off the EMA 50. That zone there and that trade that we just took. 9 is still below the 12. We're approaching a 12.26 crossover on the downward side, and then the TTM, if you notice right down here, is scaling red. So I'm going to look for a red to yellow move on the TTM. This is necessary, this pullback, this consolidation, and we're consolidating above the VWAP. So this does look good potentially going forward, maybe at like 8:30 or 8:45, somewhere in the next 15 minutes or less. I think that we'll get another bounce here and form an ABCD pattern and then rip up again. There is obviously the potential that we'll continue to fall down. But right now, I just kind of feel like we're consolidating. We're consolidating above 12 or right around 12, which is the area that I talked about earlier, about 15, 20 minutes ago, that this is the area that I don't really want to see it dropping low. Bouncing off of 12 up to 13. That was a nice little trade move right there. We missed it, but, can't grab every move. And I think that in trying to do so, put yourself at incredible risk. We're bouncing up to 1350. We're operating right now well below the normal volume. If you look at the last candle, it was only 800 contracts. That's so low that it can really put a hamper on some of the breakouts. There's a yellow beginning to form, and 9 is above the 12. Seem to be approaching a little bit of a crossover here. I'm gonna drop this down, by the way, to 4 ticks. I think it seems more reasonable, and I'll try to get in at 1350. That's actually too much of a pullback, so trying to get a 14. And this is popping up all the way to 15. So that yellow was actually far more powerful than I expected. So this is ripping up and testing 15 again. So this is what I felt like we needed, was this pullback here. We bounced really well off the EMA 35, which is right there, 12.25. There we are. Okay, so we got 2 yellows in a row. You can see that very heavy, very clear resistance there at 41.15. Now we're pulling back to 14 here. So we did get the entry there at 14.50 and looking for an exit at, at 14, and we're looking for an exit at 15.
Order
All
filled.
right, we're in long in the mini with 1 contract, and we're trying to get out at 14.75 in the evaluation. Putting my order now at 14.25. I would like to see this bounce off the 9 moving average, but it doesn't really look like it's going to. I'm still holding this trade for the moment. Okay, it's back up at our order. So we did get that trade. We made a tiny little bit of profit on that. About 16, more like $10 actually. About $10. So we're up 67 and some change in the evaluation. Pulling back to the 9 EMA now. I'm pretty grateful that I got out at that zone right there. I definitely could have taken another contract or 2 down here off of 13.50 though. That was definitely an option that was available. This thing, I'm also going to put this at 14.25. And currently down 2 ticks in the evaluation, in the sim side. We're up 1,100 on the day in the sim. 0.6, 0.6. I'm going to cut this. Loss of 75 on that one. Up $1,062.50 in the sim. And you're not going to win every single trade. And that's fine. Like, what really matters is gracias. What's up, Crypto Critter? Good to see you. Yeah, what really matters is that risk management. That's really the thing that I'm heavily focused on this month. And that's what I'm going to be very, very focused on when it comes to this evaluation. Getting a nice pop up there off the 9 EMA. That's actually looking really quite nice. Should probably check in with some of the longer time frames. Market moving very slow on the day. About to get a new 5-minute candle here in just a moment. This is looking really good. You can see that sort of like mini cup and handle there. Here's also a larger cup and handle here. So cup, here's the handle, and there's the bounce off the cup and handle. And frankly, I wish that I had noticed that earlier because I would have taken this bounce trade. Taking a look at the 3-minute, which is working its way towards that 5,200 cross. It's probably not going to be for a while. Probably well past 9 o'clock. And 41.15 is the line in the sand at the moment. Taking the 5-minute chart, which just got a new 5-minute candle. And you can see we've kind of consolidated and bounced a couple of times off of the 50 EMA. The 9 EMA is approaching a crossover of the 50. What that'll do for us is that'll give us some more solid confirmation of continued breakout. And what that may entail for us is a breakout above 15. So that actually looks like this is trending towards that breakout above 15. And I think that looks pretty good. I'm going to switch over to the micro. And I'm going to go for 3 contracts of the micro, not the mini. And I'm going to look to join the bid right here.
Order filled.
Enter long 3 contracts at 15.25 on the micro. And I'm looking to get out at 16. Wish I would have gotten in at 15, which I was trying to do, but it just didn't do it for me. So we did get
Order
that
filled.
trade. That was 3 contracts. Now we're up $75.26. It was 3 contracts of the micro. Man, I wish that was in the mini. But you know what? I traded on the micro because I'm trying to protect my profits, and it's really about risk management. That's everything. Pulling all the way back down to a doji, all the way back down to 15.25, which was our entry on that point, and back up to 16. So this is looking really great. That was a 10-minute pullback with a bounce off the 9 EMA on the 5-minute side, and pulling up and breaking through that 15 resistance and tapping 16.25 on there. I can tell I'm getting closer to like a little bit of decision fatigue. I wish I had like another cup of coffee or something like that. Because I think that I still can trade a bit of like fighting this like sickness for months. You guys remember back in November, I got sick, and I've been off and on sick since then. Not sick right now, but there's still like I don't know, just like seemingly like a lot of like phlegm or mucus or something in my upper respiratory system. It's very frustrating because you know I dealt, like, you guys obviously know that I've dealt with like, you know, very, very crazy stuff from asthma, and I mean even encountered a brain injury from it. By the way, if y'all don't know, like my story, like I'm trading right now with a brain injury, a visual impairment, speech impairment, all of these different things, and you know we're still pushing forward, and so it's always going to be like that for me. I'm never going to stop until I'm in the ground, and that's the way I am. And I'm just going to continue to advance myself. But having said all that, it doesn't help to trade with some of those additional things. But yeah, so that upper respiratory thing is, it brings in fear, because I'm like, yo, you know, I've had times where I've like ended up on life support, you know. I'm not trying to do all that again. TTM moving from 0.14 to 0.89 to 1.2 to 1.5. So a little bit of movement on it, kind of slow as the whole market has been slow today. 41.16, now acting resistance. Little flag right there, if you guys notice that. Some resistance right there at 16.25. An entry off of 15.25, I think looks pretty decent. I'm gonna put a standing order there at 15.25. This is a flag breakout. That's 16.25 is the top of the flag. Popped on through it. This right here was a very nice, like 6 tick or 10 tick move right there from this 9 EMA bounce. I want to start taking some larger swings in my evaluations, but I just don't. I'm not really there yet exactly where I want to be with that. So I'm just gonna keep going slow. Up 75 though, you know. Hey, thank you, Tiny. I appreciate that. That's encouraging. By the way, guys, if you're trying to earn funding in the futures market, you may want to check out Elite Trader Funding. Elite Trader Funding is currently doing a 50% off bonus sale right now, and that is going to April 14th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern time. So that, you know, factor wherever you're at for that. There is a link in the description, and the promo code is JSBest, or you could use the hop to it, which is the current code. But JSBest will automatically give you the biggest discount of whatever the biggest discount of the day is, which is 50% off. And if you guys take a look at the evaluations here, this covers everything from the 1 steps to the end of the days and the statics of the diamonds. It does not include the fast tracks, so it's important to know that. I mean, you could take the 50K eval for half price. So this brings us down to 80 something bucks, and so it does save you a pretty big amount of money. You know, the 10K is by far the most popular. You can grab this for 40 bucks right now. This is a $1,250 profit target. Personally, I like the 25K and above because I want the ability to take more contracts. And this one, what I like about the 25K, it's only a $250 profit target difference, but you get an additional 500 in drawdown. So when I look at that, I'm like, wow, you know, this one, in my own personal opinion, is a little bit of a better deal because you're getting a $1,500 account as opposed to a $1,000 account. And the way that I look at these, whether, you know, with 10 and 25, these are just equity. It's really the drawdown that I'm looking at as being the size of my account. And in thinking that way, that's helped me actually understand how big my actual account is. So I like the 25K personally because it allows me 3 contracts of the mini and 30 micros. And it also gives me an additional $500 on the drawdown to only make an additional $250 on the profit target. It's kind of one of those things where it's like, do your math, figure out what works for you. But that's what I'm looking at. And these guys are also 50% off. So take that 145 and multiply it by half. So these go down to 72.5. So you do save over $70 on these. To use the link in the description and the promo code JSBest or hop to it. Either way. But you're definitely going to want to check those out if you're trying to earn funding in the futures market. And speaking of earning funding, currently we are up $75.26 today on our current evaluation, which you can see is actually in Apex. We have other accounts in Elite Trader Funding that will also be trading in later this month. We popped up, we peaked there at 1750 was the peak of that breakout. It was a very nice move. Really, genuinely, I wish that I had taken this one as a bounce off the 9 EMA. What just traded? Okay, so we just got a real quick trade here from that standing order that we had sitting. And we're up 1287.50 in the sim today. We're up 75 in the eval, 75.26. That's partly because we traded a combination of the micro and the mini. Now we're getting some pullback and consolidation again. Let's see. I would want this to consolidate around 40.15, and maybe even some pullbacks to that and bouncing off of it. But it kind of feels like we're nearing the end of the move. We're approaching 8:45, and nearing the top of the hour. Market is very slow today, but not that difficult to trade, which is kind of nice. I've been a little challenged by the volume, but outside of that, the rest has been operating pretty nicely. I'm going to take a look at a very longer time frame, looking at the 15-minute chart. And the reason why I was interested in the 15-minute chart has a lot to do with understanding where these potential breakouts may be. Like you can see, this is actually working on a 15-minute trend reversal, which would be very powerful. So this is at 8:45, so 9 o'clock. So I think like 9:30 or even 10:30, we may get this like a big surge upward. Currently on the 15-minute chart, 9 is below the 12, and I think that this EMA 35 or possibly this 26 will act as resistance, which puts it at 18 or 1850. On the sim side, I'm going to take an entry off of 16 and a quarter for a move up to 17 and a quarter. I think I probably could have had an entry off of potentially even a little lower, but I'm basing this on the 15-minute chart. I guess actually this is more of a pullback. I don't actually really like this trade, and I think that it's kind of an impulsive trade, so I'm going to cut it and just take the loss. It's not a big deal. We're still up over 1,200 on the day. You know, not every trade that I do is going to be perfect, and I acknowledge that. And by acknowledging that, I think that actually will eventually, over time, make me a better trader, because it will allow me to know and understand that it's not me necessarily all the time, and just sort of like a way to sort of help forgive myself. What I'm really looking for is accuracy and risk management. Pulling down to 15 and a quarter. I'm glad I cut that trade. We lost about 75 bucks on it. Pull back to 14, I think would be the line in the sand. If it goes down below 14, I think that this trend reversal may be done. 5 minute side has a ways to go for the 5200 cross. But 5 minute, if we take a look here at the other moving averages, the 9 is above the 50 and the 12. The 12 is approaching a crossover the 50, which we'll probably get at 850. I'm just going to say 50 again, just for the fun of it. 50. And the EMA 35 is on approach for the crossover, likely the 3550 crossover, likely around 9 o'clock is my guess. I'm going to take a long here off 1550. This is less impulsive. This is basing it off of the factors that I just mentioned. So you can look at the 3 minute side. Currently on a 3 minute pullback at the moment. We got a better entry on this too. Our entry's at 15. We're looking to get a 1550. We're looking to get a 1650. I just cracked my back so much. Like it just went. The whole thing just cracked. That's good, because I've been having neck pain like all weekend. And it's finally starting to get worked out. Looks like we've got resistance right here at 1675. I think that's really kind of the like if you look at the longer time frame, it makes it a little bit easier to see. I'm gonna delete this one. No. 1 minute side still cooling off. I'd like to take a trade again in the evaluation, but I'm not going to force anything. I'm not going to push anything. I only want to take trades that I really understand. I did get that trade on the sim, and I also am still in the process of transferring my confidence from the sim over to confidence in the evaluation. That's a lot of mental game going on there, and that mental game can be something that can become very challenging, just on the whole as a trader, but just even as an individual. So that's really what I'm looking to do. Like you can see in the sim, I'm finding trades, I'm finding price levels. In the evaluation, I don't do that as much, or there's a more of a reaction component there, and so I'm trying to work on that. Because on the sim side of things, I have very high accuracy. More importantly, I have really strong risk management and a higher concentration of profitable days. And higher profitable days. So if you do take loss days, I've been capping myself at like 750 or like $2,000 depending on the movement of the day. Right now, on a day like today, I would cap it at 750 just because the volume is just so low on the day. 3 minute, continue to pull back. One minute pulling back kind of heavily. Rejected again off of 1650. I'm gonna zoom out on the chart because I just want to see how this is playing out. The 200 moving average has been working its way down pretty consistently, and that's something that we do want to see for upward trend. So you can see where this crossover happened. I honestly wish I was here to short this because this is a really accurate move. Is the 3 minute downward cross. So anyway, the slope of the 50 has begun to curve upward, while the slope of the 200 has consistently gone downward, and that does look good for a longer term breakout. It's just a matter of getting to that point, and I don't think that's going to be for like another hour or two. I'm going to say closer to like an hour and a half, which is like such a cop out. It's like right in the middle, but realistically, I think it's going to be at like 10:30. I'm going to join the bid right here on the sim side. Try and get in at 1475, and I'm going to take a look at the evaluation. So actually, I'm going to cut this. Doesn't matter. I'm already in it now. I'm in at 1475. I'm just going to put an exit at 15. So right now, basically, we're setting up for this exact move again right here. Now, this could fail, but if you look at this move here sort of did the same sort of double top and pull back, bounced off the EMA 35 for a while, and then got this red-yellow move, pulled back to, or ripped up and then pulled back to the 9 EMA, and then ripped off of that. And so we may look for another move like that, potentially a bounce off the EMA 35. Now, we already dropped below the 50. And we're still in this trade, so I'm actually going to cut this. This one went against us. I think that we're more of in a position to start heading downward. I have a market order on this, but if you guys notice, and I've had this market order for a while now, and it still has not filled. I've been trying to exit this trade, and it's not letting me out. So I tried to get out of this at 1350, and just wouldn't let me out of the trade. So up 1137.50 on the day. We did get back about $200 in profit on that one. And that's just part of the, part of the process. I'm not looking at going short yet, but if we get below the VWAP, then I might look at going short. We are on the approach of 9 o'clock. So about 5 minutes to the top of the hour. $40 seconds left in this candle, and or left in the 5 minute candle, and then we'll go check out the 5. 1 minute side. This almost looks like a head and shoulders. Below the 50, approaching the VWAP now. So we may get another bounce off the VWAP, but this is looking like This is looking like we're on the backside of this move now. So it didn't end up bouncing the way that this one did. Our last chance would be to bounce off the VWAP in order to continue on the long side. Otherwise, this may begin to approach more of a short. If you look at this as well, the 50 is beginning to slope downward. You can see the 50 has dropped about 50 cents in the last minute or so. There's a dip below the VWAP there, pulling back down to 1075, 11 area. Just because it dipped below the VWAP doesn't mean that we're short bias yet. We're still above the 200 moving average. This could still easily bounce here. And being as that's the case, I'm just not entering either direction, short or long yet. It is looking more on the short side to me at the moment. Again, that could shift quickly. Dipping below VWAP. VWAP's at about 1150 area. And we're pulling back down to 950. So that's pretty substantial below the VWAP. Again, could bounce off this 200 moving average. In fact, I might take a bounce move off that 200 moving average area. I'm looking to enter at 950. This will go for 975. Oh. So it is bouncing there. I tried to get in. I kind of missed the move. It just didn't get the fills that I wanted. I was trying to get an entry off of 950, and we just didn't get it. And so I was just looking to take that move up towards 1050. I cut it because I don't want to chase it any more than that. So 950 or 10 was my highest entry that I was willing to go on that. This did end up going all the way up to 11. There's a downward doji. This could mean a pop here. TTM moving from 2.0 to 2.6 to 3.1. So TTM is still on the downward trend. We're approaching 9 o'clock. We never did check that 5-minute candle. Five minutes still on the decline. Moving averages on the 5-minute are dipping below the EMA 50. That looks more short to me. We'll see if we continue to bounce here. I personally believe that the EMA 35 needs to get above the 50 in order to confirm a full-on trend reversal. Pulling out at 41.10 now. Let's take a look at the 3-minute. Piano player's out. Music stopped. All right. So down here at 950, TTM sold off a lot. Lost a lot of momentum there. 4.3 to 3.7 to 1.2. 3.7 to 1.2 is not insignificant. That is a very big drop. So 3.7. Or sorry, this was actually 3.7 to 2.7. That's still a pretty large drop, 1.0 drop. And then the current one is at 0.8. So that's dropping. Sorry, it's actually more at 0. So that's a drop of about 1.2 on that candle. So that is not insignificant at all. I'm more inclined now to go short. I'm going to try to go short off 950. Pulling all the way down to the 200 moving average on the 1-minute side. Considering a bounce just because the 200 moving average is there. Heavy sell-off. ES losing about $8. That's pretty large, all things considered. So here we are at the top of the hour, right at 9 o'clock. And we have pulled back pretty substantially. I can tell that I'm starting to get decision fatigue. I don't have coffee. I didn't have any food. So those factors may begin to play into my trading and my decision making. And so I don't really want to give back any profits on the day. A lot of buy orders coming in right there. I'm going to join the bid. In at 4109. And I'm looking for a bounce off this 200 moving average. Just up to 10. 4.0 to 4.2 to 4.5 on the downside on the TTM. If we see red yellow, we might try to catch a rip, just like a very micro rip. 4.2 to 4.5. Currently down in this trade. I guess I should have just gone short like I talked about. I was trying to take a bounce off this 200 moving average, also because all these buy orders showed up. And I'm going to cut that. All right, probably going to end it right there. We're up 950 on the day. I don't want to give back any more profit than that, but I do want to figure out what our fees were and everything. So we took 50 contracts at $5.58 a contract. So we paid exactly $279 in fees. We reduced our $950 in gross profit. That means we made a net profit of $671 in the sim. Clearly, I gave back around $400 over the last few trades. And so I don't want to continue to give back money. So I want to make sure that I'm always walking away with my profits and protecting my risk. On the valuation side, the great part is it does all of our fee calculation for us, and we're up $75.26 on the day. I really wish that I would have taken the shorts through this area here, because there was absolutely a lot of opportunity there to take those. What's the low on the day? Low was down at 4,098, and we're pulling down to 4,105. Pretty hefty drop right there. So I'm glad that we cut that trade where we were trying to get that bounce, but it just didn't work out. Pretty hefty drop there, and larger than average volume that we've been getting for the last hour or so. So this volume is up here at like 3,600, and the volume is beginning to increase. This one is mainly bulls winning out on this candle after this drop. You can see right there that's mainly all green. So this dropped all the way down to 4104.50 and bounce and close at 4106. So getting some volatility now, but it's volatility on the downside, which is fine, especially if you're into shorting. But we've been selling off for so long now. If you see how many red candles have been here on the TTM, that I'm hesitant to go and take another short for that very reason, just because this sold off so much for so long. That did end up being a head and shoulders pattern. And now we're on the backside of that move pretty heavily. Yeah, I absolutely know what you're talking about here. Like if you're in a bad mood, you're gonna trade rationally. You're gonna trade sort of like radically, if you will, and take aggressive positions a lot of the times, or just take no positions and feel frustrated. And so yeah, my last trade was short, and now it goes to well. All right, so pulling all the way down to 4104. So again, I'm not gonna take any trades in this area just because we've had so much sell off for so long that I can't really trust this. You know what I mean? So having said all that, guys, I think I'm gonna go ahead and end it right there. And the reason why is because I don't want to get back any profits or any more than we already have. We're up 950 gross, 671 net in the sim, up 75 in the evaluation on the day, out of a profit target of 3,000. Very first day of the evaluation. And also, guys, if you want to pick up an evaluation for yourself, check out Elite Trader Funding. They're offering a 50% off deal right now. And this is going all the way to April 14th and ends at midnight Eastern time. So 9 o'clock Pacific. You can use the link in the description and the promo code JSBest, which will lock in this 50% discount. But also you can use the Hop to It code as well if you'd like. They are doing a random drawing of 44 accounts. They're going to be giving away over $2 million worth of funded accounts for people who pick up during this time frame. And they will announce those in the Discord community on April 17th at 9 p.m. Eastern, or 9 a.m. Eastern. If y'all want to check them out, there's a link in the description. The most popular account is the 10K one-step evaluation. But I personally think that the 25K offers a lot of value because you get an additional $500 of drawdown, and the profit target only goes up 250, and it allows you to take 3 contracts for the mini and 30 micros. Personally, I'm trading in a 50K evaluation, which allows me 8 contracts for the mini, $3,000 profit target. So guys, having said all that, I'm going to jump into our Discord community where we talk a lot about our trades and our reflection and results and stuff like that on the day. So I'm going to jump on in there now, guys, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7:30. 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 market time, and I'm going to get some food in me. Because yeah, I'm hungry. All right, y'all. Much love and appreciation. We'll see you tomorrow, 7:30 Pacific, 10:30 Eastern time. Peace out, y'all.